Okay, so not only is this valve here of a wider diameter than the previous pipe that we had, but the inside has a sort of filter type device on it so that a little piece of debris won't actually make it inside of the tube. So it should be a little more difficult to block. Besides that, the tubing itself is a fair amount wider, and I did run this through a couple cycles to make sure that the whole system could handle the amount of water flow. So it does come out quite a bit faster than before. However, the tubing in the units below is of a wide enough diameter to be able to handle the water flow, and it does indeed make it back to the reservoir at the bottom without incident. So it seems to be okay, but for now I've left it to only run during daylight hours, so there'll be no nutrient exchanged when I'm asleep. That way I can sort of keep an eye on it during the day. So the next thing you might notice, I've moved around a few of the plants. I've planted a few seedlings. Obviously, if all of these grow large, then I'll not be able to keep them where they are. Despite the fact that there's this many holes in the unit, unless they're extremely small plants, you can't use every single hole here. I'm just planting them here for, seeding them, and once they get larger, I'll move them around, redistribute them, and so forth. I do have plans to build a larger DIY unit in the next few weeks. So the second thing that happened is that I noticed that the airflow for these units was not as large as I wanted. I have actually added an airflow tube to the top unit, which wasn't there before. All of these air tubes, the top, middle, and bottom, these smaller tubes, these branch into two separate air stones inside, and so just with these three units it's powering 6 air stones, and there's actually another larger one inside of the reservoir. So because of that, I've actually taken them apart, taken a little look, and I found that the airflow is relatively weak. One thing that I do want to do, if you notice I have these branching out into the middle, they're kind of in the way, so I do want to move the air tube to the corner closest to the inlet, which I will do once I clean these out. In order to make things a bit easier to handle, I've created some of these. The air tube can go through the middle. I've just cut off the top so that this will go in the corner and the air tube will go down into it, and that reduces the amount of light leakage that we get. So again, once I rotate these crops, then I'll be doing that. I've cut a few more leaves off of this guy because it just keeps getting larger and larger. Really, that one should be grown in a larger unit. You may notice this basil here looks a bit short. I've cut that down 3 separate times in the last week. It just keeps growing like crazy. But I am using the cuttings in another unit, which we'll take a look at in a minute. So again, the main two things I've done this past week is I've installed this larger tube and valve to this tank here, and I have greatly enhanced the air input with a new quad output air pump. So another minor thing I did is that, as I mentioned, some debris had made it into this tank, so I took the whole tank out and I cleaned it and refilled it, and during that time I also added a micron bag filter to the end of this input tube, and also I'll be doing the same thing to the drainage tube in the reservoir. So I also took this particular unit here and I moved it downstairs. This is the one that was upstairs. I was quite surprised when I went to open it up. The entire bottom is one large mat of roots. There were a whole bunch of different type of plants in here, like lettuces and stuff, but the mint had basically taken over and prevented anything else from growing too much. So what I did is I just harvested everything except for the mint, and I'm probably going to take some cuttings from this mint and then just toss the rest out.